views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Welcome everybody to Doing It with Stiles. Thanks for coming back again this week. I got a real treat for you this week. We have one of the top-notch premier independent filmmakers here in Las Vegas with us today. Joe Lujan, right?
Yes, sir.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Oh, pretty good. Huh?
That was good, yeah.
Joe, welcome.
Usually, thank you.
I know how busy you are right now, especially. You got a premiere coming up in early March for Immortal Wars Resurgence.
Yeah.
So I have to assume, I already know this, but I'm saying that for the people out there, that this is a follow-up to Immortal Wars.
Yeah. It's a follow-up. It's a direct follow-up from the first Immortal Wars.
Okay.
It literally picks up right where the last one left off.
Excellent.
The last scene of the film, it picks up right there.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that when they do that, you know, where you don't have 10 years that have gone by and you got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's okay, but you know.
I think this one was appropriate, though. I left everyone with a huge cliffhanger at the end of the Immortal Wars.
There you go.
It ended with one of the biggest fights, like the first swing, and that was the end of the film.
A few years back, I read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and all that. I mean, big fan. And of course the movies came out, and I was excited as hell. And so I took my girlfriend at the time to see Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So if you've read it, you know how the first book ends.
Yeah.
And so we get to the end of the movie, and she looks at me and she goes, "What the hell was that? Where's the rest of the movie?" I go, "Well, that's the second one. That's book 2. Yeah. "Well, no, that's bullshit."
Yeah.
So if you're not expecting it and you don't,
I think with the Immortal Wars, a lot of people weren't expecting that type of ending.
Right.
A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people, a lot of viewers liked for everything to be spelled out for them. Everything has to be clarified.
The important question is, did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I was proud of it.
And that's the way it should be. Isn't that what art is all about?
Exactly, yeah. If you're proud of it and you're, I mean, looking back now, there's a lot of things I would have changed. I would have done a lot of things differently to the film.
What artist doesn't have that
exactly.
same,
you know, it just comes with the territory. But when it came to the ending, that was my thing from the get-go. I wanted to leave everyone with like, what happened? Like, this is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil series, the franchise.
Okay.
So Resident Evil constantly had cliffhanger endings.
Yes.
And with my film, believe it or not, with all my films, I leave cliffhangers at the end. It's kind of just like let the viewer's imagination take over from there on.
And then see if what you come up with as a sequel or a follow-up matches what their
where their minds went.
Right.
Yeah, because so many people have. I've run into a few individuals where their story, the story that they came up with after the Immortal Wars, went different routes.
Yeah.
And there's even times where I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. That was a good one. So I kind of catch myself with that. Now that the Immortal Wars 2 is done.
And pretty much all of your films, I'm not sure if I've seen them all, but pretty much everything that I've seen is in the horror genre. Horror / kind of sci-fi-ish a little bit, Is that what made you pick that genre?
I've always been a fan of horror films.
Okay,
it was always been something that I would find fascinating. I know it's weird to say that because obviously it's terrifying stories and stuff. But when it comes to the films I've done, I've incorporated that element along with like a artistic point of view when it comes to it. My film at Telephobia is very, it mimics a lot of like Saw and Hostel, which is hardcore gore and gruesome, but with me, I added more of a horror fantasy twist to it. I focus a lot on the costumes. That way it would stand apart from all the other films. But when it comes to the horror genre, I think it was something that throughout the years, I think it was also a little bit of, before we started shooting, we had mentioned about being rebellion. And, when it came to horror films, I wasn't allowed to watch horror films when I was younger.
Okay.
My grandmother and my older sister when they would babysit, they'd be like, "All right, we're gonna watch a scary movie. Just don't tell your mom and dad."
Right.
And it was movies like I Know It's the Last Summer, Scream.
Okay.
Movies like that I would watch on repeat. I fell in love with those films.
Yeah. Now, see, you're talking about when I was younger, the horror films were a whole different a lot different than they are today, because in a lot of the films, Vincent Price was the master.
Yeah.
And you never really saw the monsters, or they did leave a lot to your imagination. House on Haunted Hill, or all of those.
There was a lot.
And do you find that I don't know how to say this, some of the horror films of today, they're just there for the blood, gore, guts, hair, teeth, and eyeballs. Yeah. And that's it. They just want to see how splashy they can get.
How far can they go?
Right, without any real substance to it. It's what's his name? Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
Okay, and the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I love his stuff because it is so ridiculous sometimes, and he is so over the top.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Nicolas Cage from time to time.
Okay.
It's like he takes his performances, like he doesn't take them seriously, but he does take them seriously.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And so anyway, I like that. But getting back to your stuff, because that's why you're here, to talk about your stuff. I have to ask you about casting choices.
Okay.
So when you did The Immortal Wars, did you have particular people in mind for particular roles? Did you do a casting call and just see who shows up? And then, in your mind, did you have a picture, this character should be like this? I mean, to a certain point, but did you say, hey, I want this character to be like that person over there?
Yeah, no, I did. With The Immortal Wars, we didn't do an in-person audition at first.
Okay.
We did more online submissions. There was a process. I casted the entire film myself. So it was, obviously, with also having to get ready to direct and everything else that comes with the process of film, it was something I could only do submissions at that point.
Right.
So we received a lot of submissions, a lot of people that got creative. They were showing their talents in unique ways, actually. Some of the submissions we got, people were making short films.
Yeah.
They were adding sound effects. And to me, as a director, when I see that, I'm like, this person really wants it. That shows a lot.
Right. And maybe they're not the most talented, but that their heart's going to be in it, and they're passionate.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can take a lot more or add a lot more to what you're doing.
Yeah, and when it came to the lead, her name's Jackie. She plays Triclip. She's the lead of the film. She did somewhat of a short film as well, sound effects, And
Cool.
To me, we had gotten so many submissions. As the lead, I couldn't just settle with just someone.
Right.
It was someone who's going to represent the film. Already with the plan that we're doing 3 films, we're going to do 2 sequels. So we had to make sure that it was the right person at the right time. I think I looked at over 70 submissions.
Wow.
For Tricalypse.
Just for the lead?
Just for the lead.
Wow.
Yeah, just for the lead. And it got down to 1. We had a meeting, and we obviously discussed everything, the plans for all 3.
Right.
And that's how I decided to get her. There were other roles that I wanted. I already knew who I was going to give to. There's a few actresses that I've worked with on all my projects. Corey Taylor's one of them.
Right.
She comes out of my film Rust, Rust 2, Telephobia 2.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about, because I've known Corey for a number of years now, and the roles that you've cast her in are nothing like Corey.
Nothing.
I mean,
no.
When I first saw that, and I went, holy crap, that's Corey Taylor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she can morph into what I give her. And I'm telling you, that's why I wanted those roles to be filled by those actresses.
Right.
The role of Iroh, the role of Decay in The Immortal Wars.
Right.
Corey plays Lori. Those roles I already knew I'm going to give to these actresses that I'm constantly asked and questioned why I work with the same actors, And as a director and as someone who's in the industry, I can rely on these actors. They know what to expect from me. I know what to expect from them. Yes, it's fun and games on set, but when we're filming, we're working. You know, it's our career.
And I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that.
No, they think it's
they're here to party.
favoritism.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always asked, why do you always have the same people? I'm like, that's why I have them.
Well, the other thing is too about doing something like that is the it can show the versatility of those actors.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
What was the one with Tom Hanks and the sci-fi one where he and her played different characters within the same movie?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh yeah, I know you've seen it. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
Is it Halle Berry's in it?
Yeah, Halle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know the title.
And they played different characters throughout the film, and
yeah.
and
I know which one. Yeah.
I love that.
Cloud
about,
Atlas.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
go.
it.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the things is you pretty much do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you've written the scripts.
Yeah.
You direct.
Mm-hmm.
You edit. What else?
Costumes. I design the costumes. If there's certain costumes I can make, then I will style the look that I want with different pieces of lots of different, designs. The sets, I design my sets.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, my father, I always fly my father into wherever we're filming, and he helps me build the things we need.
Cool.
Funny story is with the Immortal Wars, we needed a set that we needed a prison basically.
Right.
That's what we needed.
Right.
We couldn't find one. We shot the entire film in Las Vegas, and we couldn't find one available. So the one thing that I thought was, how do I get a lot of rooms, doors next to each other in a hallway? Like, what do I do? And that's when it hit me. I'm like, a storage unit. Why not just use a storage unit? So I was going around town calling and asking.
I gotta make notes here.
It happened on the fly. And again, it's part of directing. You just kind of solve the problems right away.
Right.
And I flew my dad in, and we found a place in Vegas close to the Strip. And we basically just rented out a whole hallway of empty storage units that hadn't been occupied by any tenants. And my dad came in and built the bars. We did the lighting, and,
awesome.
And we made it into a jail cell.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
My dad, he helps me out with everything. My family's, they help me out with a lot.
That's cool. And he's from El Paso.
He's from El Paso, Texas. Yeah.
That's where you're from, huh?
I'm from El Paso. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my hometown. I love El Paso.
Yeah. And it's good. You go back there often?
Often, yeah. I'm headed there this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think people realize what a great independent film community we have here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And pretty much everybody kind of knows everybody else in there. Do you find that that's this is a dangerous question. Do you find that you get more support or opposition from the other people in the industry here?
I'll be honest, I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit of both, I should say. Lots who are out there to lend a helping hand,
right.
And help you out. But then you also have those individuals who aren't very supportive or are very negative at what you're creating. The thing I think is amazing with the Vegas film community is there's every weekend there's a project going on.
Yeah.
There's always something going on. There's filming left and right. I'm more of the one to support all that's created because I know what it takes to create something.
Yes.
So a project that people are probably very negative about or downing it in one way or another, I'm more of like, I know what it took to make that. Probably not every detail, but I know as a filmmaker myself, I know what it takes to create a project, and finishing something is an accomplishment itself. And that's
absolutely.
I think it's very important that we have to stand up and support that. There's a lot of projects that don't get finished.
Yeah.
There's a lot of filmmakers who give up halfway, or they get started and they finally see what the process is of making a project.
And they go, screw this.
And they're like, I'm done, and they walk off. You know,
Yeah.
and I think it's important that we have to continue to support each other in the industry.
And you had the opportunity this last year, you and Corey, to head up the 48-hour film festival.
Yeah, that was very important for us. I think It was something that I had done for 5 years in a row.
Right.
You know, I was doing it every year.
As a participant.
As a
an
participant,
entry.
yeah. I wanted to, you know, it was a time where all me and my friends would get together and create something. It was very stressful. I remember the days after I was regretting doing it, but I would always do it the next year.
Right.
But then I got busy with my films and the Immortal Wars and the Telephobia that I missed like 2 years in a row. And
How many entries did we have this past year?
I think we had like 28.
No
maybe?
kidding.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Wow.
submissions. Yeah, I think the one of the main reasons why we decided to do 48 hours was just to bring the community back, you know, and to help the community here in Vegas. It was an event that we wanted to have all the artists create something and share their work with everyone.
Right.
It's not the type of event to make money. You don't make money off
No.
it
They're-
at all.
Actually, and you're not going to win an Oscar.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yet, anyway.
No, and even us as producers, it's more of a loss as far as funds
Right.
goes. It's not really something to even profit from. But it was something that I had said, I'll do 1 year, I'll do it, and we will make it an amazing event and create an event to where hopefully next year someone will be like, you know what, let's do it like last year. And we could bring back
Right.
the enthusiasm that people would have for 48. I think that was the main reason we did it. And we had such a great turnout, you know, and amazing. We even had celebrity judges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys did an awesome job.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I was
Thank you.
really sorry. I was tempted to enter this last
Okay.
year, but with everything that I'm doing here, I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
But I do plan on, I'm about 70% sure I want to get into
This
it.
year.
But only for my own.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just to see if I can do it. And I know that it's not one person that does it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it really does take a team because why don't you explain to the viewers exactly what the 48-hour film festival
Okay.
is?
Yeah. So basically, it's a film festival competition that filmmakers are given 48 hours to create a film. They're given the day at kickoff. At the kickoff of the 48 hours, you're given a topic, a character, a line of dialogue, a prop.
And a genre.
And a genre,
Yep.
yeah. And you don't know the genre till that night of kickoff.
And so you can't pick your, you know, like I want to do a sci-fi,
No.
you know, that's based on aliens landing in
Not
Lake
at all.
Mead.
You have 48
You're
hours.
handed
Yeah.
this and you got to do it.
And you have 48 hours to write your script, shoot it, edit it, and submit it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a fun, if is anyone ever interested in doing it, it's a fun event to do. I think they do it in all cities, you know, all cities do it.
Everyone that I've talked to that has participated in it said it almost killed me, but I loved it,
Yeah.
and I would do it again. And you do have repeat people, so
It is.
doing it.
It's fun, but it's a stressful. Just you have to be ready for the
Right.
hectic, moving.
Cool. We're gonna take a short commercial break here so that we can pay some bills and keep the lights on and all that good stuff. So if you'll bear with us, give you a chance to go to the bathroom or whatever you need, get yourself a drink or whatever, and we'll be right back.
Is life so hectic that you just don't have time to get all those projects around the house completed? Well, worry no more. Tinker's Handyman Service is here and ready to help you. Tinker's is a company you can depend on to be honest and reliable. What sets us apart from other companies? It's simple. We care. A reliable staff will help you with drywall repair, painting, popcorn ceiling removal, laminate and engineered wood flooring, also accent walls, crown molding, baseboard installs, cabinet and door repair, minor electrical and plumbing repairs, and more. Visit Yelp to see rave reviews from our satisfied customers. Call or text us today at 702-445-4812 for a fair and honest free estimate. Let Tinker's Handyman Service give you the free time you deserve. That number again is 702-445-4812. We're waiting for your call.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming back. I know it takes a lot to put up with me for this long, but that's why I usually have a guest so you can get interested in them and to heck with me. Joe, welcome back. Thanks again for coming in. I do know how busy you are.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you this question earlier, but I forgot because I'm old. Why filmmaking? What was it that you just one day woke up and said, I want to be a filmmaker?
Trying to shorten the story.
Well, we got 30 minutes, so.
I wasn't planning. Film directing wasn't the plan. Let's say that. I wanted to be a veterinarian. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I love all animals, and being a veterinarian.
You just went up 2 points in my book, by the way. So.
Yeah, no, all types of animals I love, and it was very important to me to, focus on that. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And I was going to go to school. Keep in mind, I was in middle school already knowing I'm going to go to school for veterinarian. And it was like that for a while. I was like that all through middle school. I think towards the end. After that, my sister, my older sister, took me and my younger brother out for a doctor's appointment, and she snuck us in to see the first Resident Evil.
Oh,
when it hit theaters. We were obsessed with the games, and we were constantly getting in trouble for staying up late playing the games. Yeah. So when the film came out, I was like, we need to see the film. But my sister knew my mom and dad aren't going to take them to go see the movie. And when we watched the film, at those roll credits, that's when it all changed. That's when I decided, no, I'm going to make films. That's what I'm going to do. And I stuck with it since. I've been doing it for almost 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of filmmaking? What's the part that you just, doing this?
I think when you're initially shooting on set and filming, principal photography, seeing those characters come off the page, to me is the best part of it.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. The editing,
something that you've created.
Finally seeing it in front of you. Yeah. It was so surreal in the Immortal Wars, seeing these characters that I designed when I was in college. I was sketching them and writing stories about them and writing the script. And then I'm on set and they're in the costumes walking in front of me. Is like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah, it was really weird and surreal to see those characters come to life.
How often, I mean, is it, so they're your creation, your costumes, you've chosen the actors. So are you ever, no, that's not what I had in mind.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with filmmaking. Anything you get going, things are going to go wrong. Things aren't going to go as planned.
Oh, really?
It always happens.
Really?
But I think with this time, with these films, there was a lot of things where I envisioned differently, things that I wanted a certain way, but for some reason or another, things couldn't happen. We had to, swap things out or change it on the fly. But that comes along with being the director. For those who want to be directors, that's part of the job. You have to be able to solve a problem right away and fix it to where we keep on going, because time is money, literally.
Yeah, and that's just it. People don't realize that, well, some people don't realize that you got 10 to 15 to 20, 30, 40 people standing around, and you're burning daylight. You're, if you don't get this shot, and we've all seen it. We've all, experienced that.
Oh, yeah. Funny story. I'll make it real short. So we were on the last final day of production on the Immortal Wars.
Okay.
I was excited. I was excited that everything was coming to an end. We were, can't wait to get into editing, and we're ready to go. It was our biggest day on set, our most expensive set. We had all the cast on set that day. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. We were loading up equipment, and I broke my ankle. I broke my ankle.
You mean you had finished shooting
no,
for the day?
3 a.m.
Holy
we're
crap.
About to start. I broke my ankle and shattered toes, and I kept going. I went into the
You're an idiot.
I went into the costume department, and I got some combat boots. I don't know whose they were. I got some combat boots, and I tied my foot, and I was like, let's go. Let's keep on going. There was no way to cancel. Everything was paid. Everyone was already on set, and there was no way to stop. So I directed the entire day hopping on one foot. I remember the producers brought crutches. They were trying to have me sit down. I'm like, no, I need them to do this and do that. And I was like that for for the next 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
That's some dedication.
That was one thing I'd say did not go as planned. I was not expecting that.
But it turned out.
But it turned out, and those scenes were amazing.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that, so yeah.
Well, now they do.
Now you guys do.
So what is it that, what's the hardest part? What's the part that you we got to get this done. Come on, I don't want,
Editing, the post-production.
That is.
I hate it.
That is, it's, I don't really hate it. I mean,
I guess it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's part of me that just that when you see those pieces come together,
That's true.
and
I can see that.
and it's like, wow, there it is.
Yeah, seeing it all together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it is.
There's a lot of points where you're like, oh, I need to get out of here right now.
Yeah.
I'm like that right now with the Immortal Wars too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the final.
So wait. So it's not finished.
Well, technically it is finished. We're
Okay.
just doing all polishing up.
But you're never really finished
No.
with it, are you?
Oh no. The producers always have to be like, Joe, stop.
Yeah.
This is good. It's great. If not, I'll keep on editing and making changes, and it'll never stop. It's that point where you have to put away the creative hat and put that business hat. Like, we got to go distribution. We got to go premieres, marketing. You know, we're going to take the film on its marketing tour starting in March. So it's kind of like there's no more. I want to do this. I want to try this. It's like, lock it in. We're done. Let's go. Yeah.
And do you think that as a filmmaker or as someone who wants to make films, do you think it's a good idea for them to take some business classes?
I mean, yeah, if you have the opportunity to
I mean,
do
if
that,
you
for
really
sure.
want to know that side of it, because
For sure. Oh,
you
yeah.
can have the best quality film in the world, but if you don't know how to get it out there,
yeah.
if you don't know how to put all of those pieces together so that, you know, you've got to pay your bills, you got to pay the equipment, you got to, you know, all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a. That's one thing I didn't know. I mean, I went to school for media production technology, so it was more of the technical stuff. I think moving out to Vegas and going back to work, LA, Vegas, I've was thrown into the business part of it, and it's a horrible part of it.
Yeah, it is.
When it comes to filmmaking, the business part of it is difficult. It's stressful. It's a game. It really is. It's a. I don't want to down it. I shouldn't down it. It's not the appropriate things to say. But I just feel like learning
It's a necessary
I learned
evil.
the hard way. Yeah,
It's a necessary evil of filmmaking.
and you have to prepare yourself mentally,
Right.
literally, because it's a numbers and you know, like one thing that when it comes to the Immortal Wars that I didn't know that has to do with the business is every time I would take I would go to a film market and I have to pitch the film. We have to make the sale. So I would go out there, and the first thing I was asked is, who's in your film? Who's in your film? What names do you have?
Right.
You know, and my response to that, I was like, oh, you know, I have some local actors, and they would turn away. They put their hands in my face and not even let me finish.
And that's terrible.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling.
Especially in this town, because not only in the film industry, but in the entertainment industry overall, there is some incredible talent in this town.
Oh yeah, there's amazing talented people.
And it's I wish there was more that I could do to give them an outlet or a place, you know, that they could share that.
Yeah, it's a business is rough.
Yeah,
it really is. And I think that I'm glad that I went through that, because now I know.
Right.
You know, at first it was very discouraging. I remember when I went. This market was in LA when we were doing the market, and it was discouraging. The first day I was chewed in pieces by distributors and people in the industry, just like, no, like what celebrities in your film?
Yeah.
I remember calling my mom. I usually call my mom and my parents like when I'm about to lose it. You know, they're usually the ones that talk me off the edge. They really are. And I called them and I was like, I want to go home. Like I was in my hotel room. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, like you go out there and this is it. You've go out there and sit.
We've locked the
suck it
doors.
up.
We're not going to unlock
They're
them.
like, you're not allowed to come back home, only to visit. You know, they all obviously in good faith they do that. You know, they know I'm very passionate of what I want to do.
And it's great that they have supported you in that.
Yeah, my parents and my family are they're everything. They're my rock. I do all this not only for me but for them.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you? All filmmakers, directors, producers, whatever, have stars or actors that are just a real pain in the behind to work with. How do you handle that? How do you personally handle that?
Unfortunately, I have had to deal with a lot of them, especially with the Immortal Wars.
Yes.
I won't point any names out.
I'm not going there.
I was like, I won't do that. But I think the way you do it is, I like to see that everything that's thrown in our way is an opportunity.
Right.
You know, and you have to take advantage and appreciate what you got. no matter the scale of the opportunity. And I feel like having them, certain people involved with the film, they tend to get their diva attitudes, and they start getting very difficult, not knowing that, example, if someone's asking for more pay, we're not just pulling out of our pocket to give it to you. We're lowering your co-star's pay to give to you.
Exactly.
I hope you know
Because
that.
you have a budget.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I hope you understand that. That's the way it works.
Right.
A lot of people didn't understand that. So, obviously, we can't make everyone happy. We have to try our hardest to make everyone happy. But if not, the way I deal with it is, I'd be like, you know what? Let's leave it at that. You just won't be in the next one.
Yeah.
We'll just kill you off if we have to.
So how do you overcome that? Everybody's telling you, who do you have? Who's the star? Who's the name? That's going to. How do you get that person or a person like that to be part of your project?
I'll be honest. It was all through connections.
Right.
Like the way we got Eric Roberts was all through my entertainment lawyer. So we got
Okay.
him, and the connection came through him, and that was how it was all started. I think it was for all of them, actually. For the Immortal Wars, the first one, it was all through my entertainment lawyer. We did send the script out to a few other actors, big name actors,
Right.
that really enjoyed the script. But for issues with scheduling or whatever the case was, we couldn't bring them in and lock them in.
Right.
But it's kind of like, I hate to say this, but it's very all about the following and the fans. If you see a celebrity who has thousands and thousands of fans, and they're like, yeah, I'll do your film.
Yeah.
But then you have someone who has not so many fans, and like, you know what, I'll do your film, and I'll even do it for free. You're still kind of have to sit there like, do it for free or get all the fans.
Right.
So it's
Yes.
constantly like that with whoever you bring on board.
Well,
Yeah.
there's some actors out there who have done some real shit movies.
Yeah.
And there are some that have done what they thought was going to be a crap movie, but turned out to be
Amazing.
something really great
Yeah.
or amazing. So how do you convince them that your movie is not going to kill their career?
Oh, that's all.
I mean, the script, of course.
Yeah,
you know.
script, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more of just that risk. Thank God that everything's been going good,
Yeah.
But it's more, the way I do it is I don't like to talk and be like, oh, I do this and I do that, and I don't do that. I'm not that type of person. I think more I'm like, I'll let my work speak for itself.
Yeah.
If you want to be in my film, here's the trailer, here's the teaser trailer we created, and thankfully they've liked what I've done. That's kind of how I do it with all my films.
Well, once you've had some success, it's a lot easier to get those names.
Yeah, I think once you have
gotta bite the
those
bullet in the
credits,
beginning,
yeah,
right.
yeah, it's kind of, that's the way it works for me. Like I've been doing this for so long, and I've done over 100 short films. And
Yeah.
I think The Immortal Wars 2 is probably my 13th feature.
Wow, that many.
Yeah, 13th feature. I mean, we won't talk about the first 10, but
No. Yeah, no. Well, aren't you working on a new script, or aren't you working on a new film that you already had a script for?
Yeah, the first script I wrote when I was in college, My Little Nightmare. It's a ghost story. I wrote that as a school assignment,
Okay.
and it's been exactly 10 years since then, and I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring it to life. I miss the horror genre.
Yeah.
I love the sci-fi action. I'm gonna stick to it. That
Right.
was something when it came to. I was so comfortable with horror films
Right.
and creating that. I was ready for a challenge. So when they had said, "Would you have something different?" I'm like, "Let's try a sci-fi action. Let's see how that goes." And then I was good at it.
Well, I'm a huge movie buff. I mean, and I love the smaller independent films that not everybody knows about, because I think there's some real jewels there. And so I'm, of course, a big Netflix and chill guy. And here, I don't know, it's been 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and I'm looking for, okay, I'm running out of movies, got to see something. And what pops up but The Immortal Wars? And I thought, oh, God, this is so cool. So, I had to, of course, order it. It came to the house. I took pictures. I sent them to Corey. Because I didn't know if you knew that or not,
No, I don't think I didn't know. I think someone told me that. Yeah,
it was
I heard
me.
about that. Was it you? Probably.
No, I told Corey, and Corey told you.
Corey probably told me. Yeah. That's cool.
And so, but I just thought that was so cool, because like I said, I'm a huge fan of films. And,
Yeah,
and
there's so many films that are great.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I know what I do when I'm editing in the studio is I always have my iPad or my laptop next to me, and I'm watching, like right now I'm on a Prime binge.
Yeah.
I'm editing, I'm on Amazon Prime watching all these movies. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, how did I not know about these films? And I think one that I saw was like Savage Land and Bad Ben, movies that I was like, I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And when I watched, I'm like, whoa, like that was amazing. You know, last night I couldn't even sleep. I was actually kind of scared of some of the stuff I was watching. But there's so many good films out there.
I just rewatched one that I just, to me it was a brilliant film, and it was called Four Rooms,
That sounds
with Tim
familiar.
Roth.
Sounds very
And
familiar.
it was Quentin Tarantino,
Oh, okay.
Alex Rodriguez,
yeah.
and it was about a bellhop in a hotel
yeah.
on New Year's Eve,
remember
and
that.
I mean, had some big names, Antonio Banderas and Madonna, and
Yeah.
and
Well, I haven't seen that in years.
I hadn't either, and
Yeah.
it just popped up on my Netflix, and I thought, I'm gonna get that and watch it again. And Tim Roth is such. I mean, if you think of all the different roles that he's played, and this was kind of a Jerry Lewis meets, you know, Mr. Pink or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did such a great job in there, and I watch movies differently since we started the station here a couple of years ago. I watch everything differently now. You know, I watch movies, I watch TV, you know, all of the talk shows, all of the, you know, all of this stuff, and I'm always watching for, ooh, I got to try that. I got to figure out how they did that and see if I can do it.
I do the exact same thing. You rewatch certain things differently. You're like, whoa, I didn't.
And I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
And wow, I love that transition. Wow, how they do that? I gotta figure out how that happened.
I do that now, going back to I have a library at home, literally, of movies. Library, it's insane. And I watch movies that I've just been collecting, and I go back and I rewatch them, and I'm like, whoa, like that was. I think the last one I was like that was Day of the Dead. Yeah, Day of the Dead.
The original?
The original, where they're like in the underground.
Yeah.
I was like, this film is amazing.
Yeah.
Like watching it, I'm like, wow, like certain things, like how advanced it was at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is insane to actually do that then. Now I wouldn't even know how to do that. I sit there like, I don't know how they did that. You know?
and I think that's going back some years. It's like 10 years ago, I could not be doing what I'm doing right now with the studio, except for the advent of equipment and technology and how it's come about. You know, I mean, I could have done it for a couple $100,000, but and so to see some of what was done so many years ago and how they just the creativity of the individual who thought, well, let's do it this way. Let's try this out. You know, and do you find that that's something exciting in what you're doing? Is like, this is what I want. I don't know how to do it, so let's figure it out.
Yeah, I think that was the case with the Immortal Wars.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm gonna make a sci-fi action film that's like Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, you know, X-Men, Hunger Games type of movie. Comparing it to a film where they have millions for budget,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sitting there like, how am I gonna do that? The original script for the Immortal Wars, they all took place on a ship, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
It all took place on a ship. You know, the world was already it was like the apocalypse. It was the only thing that had living people on it. And I had a meeting with the producers, and they sat there like, Joe, how are you going to get a ship? And I'm like, good point.
Yeah.
You know?
Never mind, it's a jail.
I was like, never mind. There's still people. There's not the apocalypse, you know? So I went back and wrote it to where it would fit to where it was affordable with budget.
There you go.
That's how I ended up bringing that up. We still hit certain points where we're like, how do I do that? You know, where all the fire and the explosions, like, I don't know CGI. Like, how am I going to do that? I mean, I had to learn the hard way, but I think that was part of it.
So, who is your favorite director?
Oh, that's a tough one. I can't just single one out. I could do a top 5.
Okay. Who's your top 5?
Top 5. James Wan.
Okay.
He's an amazing director. Adam Green. Joe Lynch.
Who?
Joe Lynch.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, like his work a lot. I'm probably gonna say names you guys probably. I like a lot of. I mean, obviously I like James Cameron. I love all those
Right,
guys,
of course.
but
Yeah, that-
you know,
that,
Wes
you know.
Craven. I mean, of course.
Luc Besson.
Yeah, it's just so many. There's so many. I
Yeah.
honestly can't.
Okay.
You know, there's.
All right, I'll cut you some slack.
I mean, you know.
Pressure's
I would
off.
say I would feel more comfortable saying favorite movies than directors.
Okay. What's your top 3 favorite
Top
movies?
3. I'm not gonna say just one Resident Evil. It has to be the whole franchise.
Okay,
That'll
yeah,
count
yeah.
as one. That's my top of
Yeah,
everything.
you can get away with that. Yeah.
That, Scream. Oof, that's a tough third. Let's do 3 more. Scream. We'll do Resident Evil, Scream. I Know It's the Last Summer. The Wrong Turn franchise I think is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, Wrong Turn and Cold Prey. Cold Prey is a foreign film. Yeah, almost so up there.
Yeah,
There's so many.
that's I'm a big BBC America fan as well.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen Cold Prey?
No.
It's phenomenal.
I'm
You
going
have to
to,
see
though.
it. It's
Yeah.
a trilogy. It's just whoa.
I'm gonna look that
really
up. So
good.
I'm making all these mental notes. And,
Yeah. The Descent also. The Descent is a great film. You have
Yes.
to see that too.
Yes.
Part 1 and 2. Those are
Yep.
great. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about 2.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
I could keep on going.
yeah,
I love films.
Yeah. So send in your list of favorite films. So I've got something to watch in the next few months. So, but what are you planning on doing after the Resurgence, Immortal Wars Resurgence coming
Yeah.
out, and then My Little
My
Nightmare?
Little Nightmare. Yeah.
Then you got anything planned after that?
Yeah. So we basically the script for a Telephobia 3 is done. So
Ooh.
yeah, there will be a third Telephobia, as well as Rust, which actually Rust came out today. believe it or
Oh,
not.
cool.
Yeah. For those who are watching, Rust came out today.
And where can we find your films?
You can watch all my films. You can watch on all VOD platforms.
Okay.
So Hulu, Amazon Prime. Those who have
Gotcha.
Amazon Prime, you
Right.
guys can see all my films there.
So Amazon Prime and Hulu?
Hulu, Vudu. I think
Voodoo. You do? Sorry.
That was a good one.
I'm
That
sorry.
was a good one. I said that. Wait, what?
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
I
that was
couldn't
good, that was
resist
good.
that, man.
Yeah, Fandango Now. I mean, there's all.
Yeah.
You know, I
Okay,
think
cool.
YouTube's Movies and Shows also has them on for you to rent. But yeah, you could watch Rust 1 and 2 now on there. You can buy the DVDs. The Immortal Wars, A Telephobia. A Telephobia 2, I don't know the date, but that's also just recently been signed for distribution as well.
Cool.
So that's what's out right now. For the next stuff, like I said, Rust 3, we are going to start shooting in fall. We're going to shoot that in Vegas as well.
Cool.
At Hotel Fear and Asylum.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
yeah. And then A Telephobia 3, and there will be an Immortal Wars 3. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't have an exact time of when that'll start, but for a while I was contradicting. Yeah, I'm gonna do one. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna do one.
Yeah.
You know, I think at the end of the second sequel, after everything that I'd gone through, I was like, I'm ending it at 2.
done.
I'm not gonna do a 3. I'm done. But I think now, after rewriting the script like 3-4 times, I'm like, okay, it's a solid script. Let's do it. And then there's another project that I've been working on a very, very quiet production. I can't say what it is, but
When you're ready to say you're going to come back here and
I will. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I will do it.
Yeah, you know you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now I'm really going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Of all of the films that you've done, written,
Okay.
produced, directed, whatever,
Okay.
of all of your films, which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite?
And or which one are you the most proud of?
I'll say the one that I'm most proud of is the Immortal Wars,
Okay.
solely because I went in not knowing how I was going to do it, and when I finished it, it was more of that whole like, whoa, like you actually made that movie. You know, that was probably one of the most like very rewarding moments for me. Favorites? I would have to say, yeah, the Immortal Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think, yeah. I mean, I love A Telephobia. A Telephobia is a very personal film to me. But yeah.
What does, for those people who don't know or haven't heard, what does atelophobia mean?
Atelophobia means the fear of imperfection.
There you go.
The fear of not being good enough, which I believe we all have.
Yes.
In one way or another, each and every single one of us has that. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of running out of time here, so I've got one question that I ask every single one of my guests at the end of the show, and you're no different. So, well, you are different, but you know, yeah. If you could do one thing, only one thing, to make this world a better place, what would it be?
Whoa, okay. One thing to make it a better place. That's a heavy question.
I know.
Do people usually answer right away?
Some do, some don't.
One thing. I don't. It can't just be one thing.
Gun to your head.
Oh, God. Whoa. Okay. One thing that I do.
No, what would you do?
That's what I'm saying. What would I do to make the world a better place? I would. To me, I think I would get rid of money.
Okay.
I would get rid of money.
I could see that.
And get rid of the value of that.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing I would do. That would never happen, but.
Yeah, I know. But you never know.
But if you think about it,
yeah.
If you get rid of that, it would stop a lot.
That's what we need to turn around is stop saying that would never happen.
True.
And start saying, and you know this as a director, how can I make it happen?
Yeah.
So anyway, Joe, thank you again
so much.
I appreciate the heck out of it.
Yes, thank you.
And like I said, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
And so for all of you, thanks again. We really appreciate you coming to watch us, and thanks for supporting WWDB TV. And like I always say, if you're going to do it with Stiles. Bye.
That's it. Push it. Give it all you got.
I'm gonna kill you.
They say we each have a plan. A path that has already been set in motion for us. A path that has an unknown direction. But I, along with other deviants, have already been labeled. We've already been cast out. And each and every single day we fight. We fight for what's right. We fight for our lives. We fight to survive.
Find them and end them. Bring her to me. Even if it's her head on a stick.
Dominion has these fake distractions built all over the sector. Once we're inside, we have to be quick. We do this, we expose Dominion Industries to the world. That's the objective.
Hand over triglyphs, or everyday death shall follow.
You killing us!
What's the plan?
Objective 3 will commence. Round 2.
You know, when I first laid eyes on you, I knew you were the one.
Nice work, John.